Welcome to The Athlete's Voice. It's the podcast where we dive deep into the minds of endurance athletes, fitness enthusiasts, and champions who continue to push the limits of human boundaries. And today we're excited to have Mr. Kenneth Seet join us in studio, HYROX ambassador and doubles champion. And of course, he recently impressed everyone with a new personal best of 3:04 at the TCS Sydney Marathon, the latest world marathon major. Welcome to our show, Kenneth.
Thank you for having me, John, and Sports Plus team.
Yeah, it's been a while since we caught up, but there's so much that we want to unpack today in this conversation with you. What you achieved this year, even before you became officially HYROX champion, right? I know we've seen you do crazy workouts, and then all the way through from last year's Raw Dog series, right through to now participating in next year's Stockholm World Championships. How excited are you?
Thanks, John. Thanks for summing it up so nicely. So, absolutely to answer your question straightforwardly, very excited to be able to represent Singapore at next year's HYROX World Championships in Stockholm. To be honest, I never expected myself to be able to qualify, given how high the standards of HYROX are currently, and it's still continuing to rise. So to be able to fulfill that goal or that dream, I think is something that really is kind of like a success factor to me, especially for this year. And I just hope to do Singapore proud and myself and my family proud at Stockholm next year.
Talk us through your fitness journey. I mean, we've known each other for a few years, and I've seen you from mainly, not that part has changed so much, just spending a lot of time in the gym, right? But from not wanting to participate in marathon so much because you're afraid you're going to lose a lot of mass and weight, to participating in HYROX, and then of course shaving off quite a bit of time, initially in the opens category, and then going into the doubles category. And this year, for the AIA HYROX Asian Open Championships, of course, you guys emerged as champions with a time of 57:50, which booked their place in the World Championships, as I mentioned earlier. How has that journey evolved? How did you decide, like from last year, maybe I want to try? And you were very, very close, weren't you? You were placed fourth overseas. Yes. You call yourself the first loser, right? Yes. Not the last podium position.
Yeah, so just to share my HYROX journey, I think I participated in about 5 or 6 singles races. Prior to this win in Singapore, I placed 4th twice. Very unfortunate. In fact, I was placed 3rd. I remember I texting you, I said that, hey, I got 3rd. Then right at the last wave, right, I was actually bumped down to 4th. So that was a real heartbreaker for me. And then I thought that, hey, it's just after 2 4th placings, I'm just not going to be on the podium for singles. So and then during my marathon prep, right, for Sydney, I decided to partner with JJ, my partner, to try out doubles because I wanted to lighten a bit of load from myself, because marathon training and HYROX training together is really tough. So doubles allows you to have a bit of less work, right, during the stations. So we did that, and surprisingly we won, and booked our tickets for next year. So and marathon training still stays the same. Just finished Sydney. Hopefully next year we can go for something better. Yeah, I guess that's about it. So really the focus for next year is, for the first half of the year at least, it will be HYROX, and then second half of the year, hopefully I can aim for a good timing at a marathon.
Awesome stuff. And I'm not too sure about the timings you've achieved, but this was a sub 1 hour. Were there any previous HYROX races that you did under 1 hour, or was this something that you guys had in mind while you were training for the race, that you said it's the first time you guys are pairing up together? Of course, both of you are very strong athletes individually, but we all know that coming together as a team, it's not always a 1 + 1 = 2, right? Yeah. Sometimes the chemistry matters. Yep. So were there any tactical aspects or teamwork that you guys had to talk through and practice before the race, and how did that go?
Yeah, so in fact, this was our first doubles race for each of us. So it's the first time that we are racing as a pair, regardless of who our partner is. Prior to this, my best in singles was 67 minutes, 1 hour and 7 minutes. For our doubles race this year, we had a goal of sub 60. We didn't expect to beat it by so much, right? But yes, I think doubles is a lot of tactics, a lot of communication. So we have to play to each other's strengths during the competition. So we did a bit of strategizing, right, prior to the race. You know, I'm a bit of a stronger runner. He's a bit of a stronger guy at the stations. So we just had to find that balance and to strategize such that we could be the most efficient team throughout the race.
All right. Awesome. And we're going to shift gears a little bit now into running. Of course, as you mentioned earlier, it's not just about HYROX, right? I mean, the two windows kind of overlap. So while training for HYROX, you were also busy preparing for Sydney Marathon, which was your main marathon race of this year. Not an easy course, I know, because I've done twice, and you not only smashed your personal best, you smashed it by, I think, 16 minutes, or so,
yes,
which is very impressive on a tough course. Like, how did you juggle training for the marathon during HYROX training season?
So actually, that's a very good question. So to be honest, for the entirety of the year so far, my main focus was really just on Sydney Marathon, right? HYROX was really a byproduct. I didn't really train a lot on HYROX, but I believed that my fitness or my engine could carry me through, and it did. So honestly, I didn't really train much of the stations. That HYROX was actually kind of like a B race for me. During the HYROX week, I was still on my marathon prep. In fact, I think I did like 30 over K 2 days prior to my HYROX competition. So Sydney Marathon was always the main goal. Yes, and the goal was to smash my PB and to do a sub 305, which I managed to do so by about 7 seconds. So very lucky.
I hear you did a negative split as well,
yes,
which was not easy to do, right? I mean, on a course like Sydney.
So I mean, just to share a bit, I did my first half of the Sydney Marathon in 1:35. Second half, I did it in 1:30. So it was a huge negative split, which kind of shocked me as well, because the last like 5K of the Sydney Marathon, right, was at the Botanic Gardens. And I think you should know it was quite horrible in terms of the hills. But surprisingly, at that point of time, I still had quite a fair bit left in the tank. So I just really sent it the last 5K. And thankfully, the last 1K was downhill. So I looked at my watch, I knew that I had like 3.5 minutes to go. So I really had to just whack the last 1K, and yeah, I managed to do it in 7 seconds.
Hashtag just whack lah.
Just whack.
Interesting that you brought that up, because I actually have two questions that are kind of related to that. I think for the sake of our viewers who are watching this or listening in on the podcast, you recently posted on your Instagram how you shaved off over 50 minutes from your Berlin Marathon just 2 years ago, right? And you took part in 4 marathons and shaved off that much time. A bit more on your background, of course. Kenneth didn't run like when he's growing up. He was part of the cross-country team, I believe.
That's right.
But even then, it's been many years since you did it. What did you feel was necessary for you to put into, beyond just saying putting in the work, right? Because everyone can say putting in the work, to shave off that much time from Berlin all the way through to Sydney?
Well, I guess the main thing is really like consistency. Yeah, I think
not bicep curls.
And bicep curls. The bigger bicep.
Every single day he's going to be posting about until he gets up 3. He's going to be doing bicep.
Yeah. So I mean, to be honest, I think consistency is the main thing. I think those who know me well know that I'm like up every single day at 4 or 5, and I'm getting in a workout, whether is it running or whether is it at the gym. Yeah, but it's a huge part of my life, and I guess over the 2 years since Berlin 2023, it kind of stacked up. So it wasn't like a sudden thing. It was a very controlled and progressive kind of like improvement. And thankfully during those 2 years, I didn't really have much. I didn't really have any major injuries, so I could stay consistent. I can't say about now, but hopefully I'll come back again. Yeah, so it's really about consistency and I guess a structure, right, to improve yourself. And on the sidelines, it's not all about training, right? I think it's a lot on fueling your body and recovery as well.
And do you find that being a HYROX ambassador and training for marathon, are the trainings kind of complementary to each other, or no, actually it's very different?
So
Although you did say you didn't taper any running through, right?
Yeah.
But let's say for people who may be in the same shoes, they have signed up for a marathon, they are participating in HYROX. They're kind of like competing schools of thought about whether you should do both, or it's actually is that actually a terrible idea, or what do you think? Personal.
I think, to be honest, if you are doing both, I think it's okay. There are some carryovers from both HYROX to running and running to HYROX, but I think it's important to like have a focus on one. So let's say this year, November, HYROX is 1 week before Standard Chartered Marathon, right? It's good to either focus on HYROX or Stand Chart. So maybe, let's say, your A race will be the Stand Chart full marathon, for example, and your HYROX will be your B race. So you do a little bit more running to focus your results on the A race, but at the same time on HYROX you can still do a bit of station work on the sidelines, a bit of compromise running. But I think it's difficult to do to focus on both at the same time and to do very well at both. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I know there are some like really good athletes who can do both really well. But I think in my opinion, it's always good to just focus on one, and the other one will kind of like be a byproduct to your A race.
Cool stuff. Words of advice from one of the HYROX ambassadors for Singapore. I mean, I promise we're done with the serious questions, because we will have some more interesting ones coming up that are a bit more fun in nature. First one I'm going to ask you, actually, you spend so much time running without a top on. I've always wanted to ask Kenneth this. Do you actually know, riddle me this, how many muscles are there in the human body?
I have no idea. 100 plus? 100 plus? I don't know, man.
I'm going to give you three options. One is, like you said, 100 plus. The other one is over 1,000. The last one is between 5 to 700.
I'll say 5 to 700.
Oh, good.
Is that right? It's just
He's got
a
it
wild
spot
guess,
on.
you know.
He's got it spot on. I had to do my research on this, not just ChatGPT, but I did find out. So the human body, human anatomy has over 600, about 650, I think, that has named muscles.
That's the first for me.
Yeah, I just had to do that because Kenneth Seet is on the show today. And then, of course, the other question that we have for you is, how did Raw Dog come about?
Oh, wow. Actually, to be honest, I think I saw it somewhere on Instagram. One of those Caucasian Western hybrid athletes posted something about Raw Dog. Yeah, I was like, hey, actually, this is pretty good term. So I started using it. I mean, there's no other connotation to it if you use it in a fitness sense. So it essentially means just going for a run without a phone, without fuel, without water, just you yourself, your shoes, and a pair of shorts. Just go and don't think about anything.
A pair of shorts in his context. Everyone else, you can bring a top.
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
That's right, yeah.
We're going to transit now a bit more into your life beyond fitness and that of an athlete, right? We all know you spend a lot of time prioritizing family. I know that because I almost have zero time socializing with you.
Sorry.
Half the time, Kenneth
Sorry, Sports
doesn't
Plus.
attend our events. Nothing, no apology needed. But we do realize that you are very clear about your priorities in life, right? Right after training, right after your races, your first thing is always to go home to your family, spend time with your kid. Where did that sense of family or prioritizing family, when did it first come to you?
I think when my son was born, I was like, hey, I have to be a responsible guy now. I can't just go and leave my wife to do the caring, right? Because we don't have a helper, so it's literally just me and my wife and a young boy. So I think that's where the responsibility comes about, right? I mean, I was just reading a book around like fitness and everything just a couple of days ago, and they said like, don't let your hobby control you. Your responsibilities are the most important thing in life. Your hobby, in this case, like fitness, running, whether it's running or HYROX, kind of revolves around your responsibility. So do not let it consume you. So that's why, I have to make certain sacrifices by waking up very early, avoiding Sport Plus events. Because I mean, he is usually on weekends or like nights or like in the lunchtime. It's tough.
We understand.
Like weekends are totally out for me because I have to send my kid for classes and then go for throwing away money and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
throw money exercise.
Yes,
You
yes,
came up
yes.
with that.
Yes.
Half the time, me and Charmaine are thinking, is it really throw money exercise because the kids want to play, or was it because you want to play, but then you bring the kid into the picture? It's like, okay, now I have a legit excuse because he wants to play. But how did that come about? You just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it was quite funny, right? Because my social media, I mean, is really all about fun and games. Right? It's nothing serious. Yeah, so he actually, I mean, just to share, he actually requests usually on Friday where he wants to go on Saturday, where he wants to go on Sunday. So that's where we kind of like plan our schedule. And then, and it's usually this type of exercises, right? And I think it's just like a fun way of saying that, hey, this is actually my family time, I'm throwing away money. But, you know, as long as he is happy, yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. Yeah.
What words of advice would you give to other young parents who may be in a similar situation as you? You know, maybe they have a fitness hobby and all that, that's very time intensive, right? You do need to train, you do need to work. How do you discuss that with your partner, in this case, your wife, you know, and then do you guys take turns? You know, what are the compromises or what are the limits in which you guys kind of discuss and agree on, like, okay, you know, this is what we have to do as a couple?
Yeah, so that's, I think that's a question that I get asked very often. So I think firstly, it's to make time. Right? If it matters to you, make time. This is what Nick Bear, one of my hybrid athlete idols, says. And I think fitness and health in general, right, and training matters to me because it helps in my mental health. It makes me sharper at work as well. So I'm very performance driven. So I want to do it to the best of my ability. So I kind of like make time for that. And by making time for that, in my context, it means that I have to wake up early because that's the only pocket of time I have in the day to train. After 7 or 8, it's out of the question because I need to, you know, get him ready for school, send him to school, and then after that go to work. And if typically from my previous experience is that if you leave your workout till the end of the day, most of the time it probably might not happen because, you know, you have urgent stuff at work to do, you have responsibilities at home. So the only time that you can make for your workout is in the morning. So I guess that's what I do on a daily basis lah. So it's really to just prioritize and make time, but don't let it affect your key responsibilities.
True or false? We've heard a rumor that you actually requested to the gym, was it Safra or something?
Safra, yeah.
To open a bit earlier.
Yes,
so that it can be true. Is it true? Is it true
It's
story?
true. How do you know?
No, I forgot how I came to hear about this,
yeah.
whether it was during the Berlin group conversation or somewhere along those. I think could be Sam who told me about that.
Oh yeah.
But is this something that everyone can do it, or is it just because you're Kenneth Seet? And you can actually ask them to do it and they actually came to an agreement?
To be honest, I actually garnered a pool of people because I have a few of my gym friends, right? Okay. For context, the gym opens at 6:30, which is a bit late for us. I gathered a pool of them, all my friends, who actually wanted the gym to just open half an hour earlier. It's not a lot, right? So we kind of like petitioned to the Safra CEO. He got his guys to look into it. So they had a trial period. The response was very good. A lot of people were still coming at 6. So they made it permanent to open at 6.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how it came about lah.
Talk about true influence.
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap up now with probably the last question of this chat, very insightful chat that we have with you. What next for you? What are your goals beyond this year? Right? I mean, it's been already a very fruitful year for you.
It is.
What's going to happen in 2026? What can we expect? We do know you're nursing an injury, by the way. Kenneth is carrying an injury, and so that does kind of put into question some of the races he has for the rest of the year. But I would say that even if you're not taking part in any more races this year, this has already been a very good year for you.
Yes.
So what next for you, 2026?
Yeah, so I mean, I was just having a chat with my coach. I think like this season, 2025, has really been like the best season that I had. Qualifying for HYROX World Champs, coming in first. Doing a 3:04 at Sydney, that was just out of mind blown. Yeah, but it came from pure hard work and grit, I guess. So I guess hard work pays off. I kind of checked off all my boxes for the rest of the year already, so I don't really have any hard targets that I want to do. Yeah, so if my injury allows me to, I'll be very happy to do a good time at HYROX and also Stand Chart end of the year. I do have slots, so that's my next race that I really want to try to do well in. But for next year, I think that's where you rewrite everything. It's a fresh page. You start to list down your goals. Obviously, the first half of the year up to June, mid of June, will be to focus on the HYROX World Championships. Yeah, so to be honest, I haven't really done a full HYROX prep yet in my life. But I think this time,
In my life.
yeah, it's always running and then HYROX
Yeah.
stations, just to, get your technique and strength work up.
Yeah.
But for this time, HYROX World Champs, because we are representing Singapore, we don't want to lose face. I mean,
Matters, huh? It's an Asian thing.
It's an Asian
Yeah.
thing, yeah. To be honest, we won't be able to come in anywhere near the podium. We won't be able to smell the podium at all, given the standards of HYROX now, right, with the Europeans and everything. But we do want to have a performance that we are proud of. So that's the first main goal for Stockholm. Second half of the year, I want to do a marathon. Usually, I don't really like to share my goals publicly, but now that I've done the 3 or 4, it's very clear that the next progression is sub 3, right? It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a lot of time in a marathon. That's like more than 1K. Yeah, so I'm still trying to see where I can do that towards the second half of next year. So these will be my 2 main goals for 2026. Yeah, I just hope I'm healthy enough to get there.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Kenneth. It's been an insightful chat. If today's conversation inspired you in any way, do give Kenneth a follow to follow him on his journey, his fitness journey and his racing journey, and to pick up more useful tips as well as some of his corny IG stories.
Bicep curls.
And, if you do have any, yes, bicep curls till he does a sub 3. If you do have any questions, do leave them in comments below, and don't forget to give Sport Plus as well a follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This has been the Athlete's Voice podcast, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.